G'day, welcome to my review of the KA-BAR Becker BK2 Campanion knife. This is one of a series of knives made by KA-BAR, designed by a gentleman called Ethan Becker. His knives, as I understand, were originally made by a company called Camillus. That company sadly went out of business. Happily, the knife designs survived and were picked up for manufacture by KA-BAR, which is excellent. It would have been an absolute shame to have lost these knives. The knives are designed for primarily survival and camp knife use. They're a general purpose, heavy duty outdoors type of blade. The blade is 1095 steel and it is a full 1/4 inch thick. The blade on this particular knife is 5 1/4 inches long, or 133 millimeters. The other knives in the range are the BK7, which, as the name implies, has a 7-inch blade, and the BK9. It will come as no surprise to hear that it is a 9-inch blade. Happily, the BK2, which is this one, doesn't have a 2-inch blade. That would be most inconvenient. There is also, I think, another knife in the Becker range that KA-BAR produces. It's actually a tactical entry tool, which is primarily, I guess, for law enforcement and possibly military type applications, and it's certainly outside the realm of what I'd be using, so I haven't taken away. It's not a full flat grind, which is probably the only hit you'd give this blade. The grind is flat all the way to this portion here, and then you've got, of course, your normal flat surface here. That can be a disadvantage for splitting. However, having said that, I've done some splitting with this knife. a limited amount, mostly on the softer type woods, and it doesn't seem to hold it back at all. It goes through quite nicely. You see there's a little bit of mark into the finish, but it's actually holding up quite well. You can see on this side of the blade it's stamped BK2, which is the model number. On the other side of the blade, bring it up a little bit closer there, it's a combination logo. You can see there BK and T. The T runs across the top of KA-BAR. So it's Becker Knife and Tool, which is Ethan Becker's company, and KA-BAR of Orleans, New York, who manufacture the knife. Very good knife, very heavy, which is particularly for its size. The weight of this knife is 16 ounces, or in the metric system 455 grams. The knife with the sheath, which we'll just throw into shot there, is 20 ounces, or 565 grams. We might move on to the sheath just quickly, seeing as we've got it in shot. It is an excellent sheath. It's the only one out of the BK2, BK7, BK9 to have this type of sheath. The two larger models have, I think it's either a Cordura or nylon sheath, which is rather sad actually. It'd be KA-BAR, if you're listening, if you're looking to upgrade those knives, upgrade the sheath. You'll probably sell a heap even to people who possibly even have the knife now. This particular sheath is made of glass-filled nylon. You've also got nylon webbing on the back, which is riveted through. Lots of attachment points and options, drain hole in the back, and of course you've got a standard clip on the front with a mil-spec clip there. The only mod I've done to this sheath is this originally is designed, this piece here, for if you're going to extend the sheath and wear it lower on the leg. For my uses I wasn't going to use that, and the other thing I found was the size of this opening. It would fade up and down on my belt substantially. It's probably designed for military type webbing belts, which I'm not using. So what I did is I simply moved this piece down to the bottom here to get it out of the way, and you probably can see there I've just put a little bit of thread around here and on this other side just to reduce that belt loop, and now all my standard belts that I use when I'm out hiking just fit through there quite nicely, and it stops the sheath gravitating up and down on my belt. If I ever need to change that for any reason, it'd be a simple matter just to run a blade in behind that, snip those two little bits of thread out, and I'd have the full length again if I needed to, say, put it on a military webbing belt or something, which is unlikely in my case, but it's a very easily reversible mod. So the retention in the sheath, we'll just have a quick look at that. Obviously we've got a strap, but if we have a look at it just in there, you can hear it snapping quite nicely. That's upside down, giving it a bit of a decent shape there. It's not really going anywhere, so the retention's quite good. To get the knife out of the sheath, of course, should always have it bucket up when you're carrying around. We undo the strap. You would need to just place your thumb there to give yourself a little bit of purchase against the sheath, and the knife comes out very nicely. On the subject of the sheath, it is ambidextrous, which means the knife can go in either way, which is terrific for both right-handed and left-handed carry, which is, I'm left-handed, so I obviously put the knife in that way. Works terrific either way. The only other thing on the sheath that's not standard is I've got a little bit of cord on here. A lot of people wrap a whole heap of paracord around here, just so they got that on hand when they're out and about. I tend not to do. I just carry it in my pack. I don't want to lumber this up too much and have too much stuff hanging on it. But this is actually a lanyard for the knife, and all I've done here, because I don't always want a lanyard on a knife this size, but occasionally if I'm using it for chopping tasks, maybe hacking my way through something, it's nice to have that lanyard on there. So I just simply put it through here, and all I need to do, just get it up in shot there, is I can just untie that little knot there like that, pull that back through, and to fit that to the knife, all I need to do is thread that up through the hole, like so, put the tight end thread like that, and we have a very effective lanyard on our blade, which we can take on or off as we need. So that's just a little tip. If you do want a lanyard on your knife at times, but not all the time, that's a very easy way to make that happen. And you can just store that on your sheath, so it is in fact always with the knife. I wouldn't put that on my pack, given that I take different packs on different days. I'd actually want that little piece of thread with the knife. The handle is very, very comfortable. These are a generic handle that you'll find on all the Becker knives. I guess Ethan Becker must have designed these. He's done an exceptional job. If we look down on it, you can see that it's flared out front and rear, so that of course will prevent your hand going up on the blade. In addition, you've got this section here to stop your hand going back, and of course this section here to stop your hand going forward. They're a very comfortable handle. They're made of a material called Grivory. I don't know much about Grivory, but it's basically a very hard plastic material. There's no give in it. They're quite smooth. There's a very, very sort of fine texture there, but effectively they're quite smooth. Not an issue. I'd say it locks your hand in, and realistically no problem with that going anywhere. I guess a bit of texture would have been nice, but certainly it's not essential. In the subject of grip, you might notice on the top of the blade, no jimping, no thumb ramp. Don't really need it. As I say, you can't go anywhere, and you can certainly put your thumb up there and use that knife for more detailed kind of work. So, very effective. We'll put the sheath back in shot. Okay. I'm not going to do a long-winded review of this knife. It's been around a long time, and most people probably know all about it. All I'll say about it, I guess, in closing, is the quality of the knife is exceptionally good, as is the value. Typical Ka-Bar. You tend to get an awful lot of knife for your money from Ka-Bar. This, for me, is an extremely capable and durable small survival knife. The sheath is a standout. In fact, it's a real selling point of this knife. It's an absolutely first-class sheath, and as I say, the bigger knives would be great if it came with that. It is one of the selling points for me on this smaller blade. It's an extremely heavy-duty knife. We've got a 1/4 inch of 1095 steel, which is very easy to sharpen and holds its edge well and shouldn't chip out. This is a great wilderness blade if you're not looking to carry one of the larger survival knives with you. You simply cannot go wrong with one of these. The price, shop around, Ka-Bars are always good value, and this is a sort of knife that, if used within its limitations, will probably last you a lifetime. With the handle, one thing I forgot to mention, there is an option. Ka-Bar do sell micarta handle scales as an aftermarket accessory, and you could fit those if you wanted something a little bit fancier. I think they're a green canvas micarta. They probably look quite nice. I see no need to do that myself. The Grivory is quite fine. And the other thing on the subject of the handle we should just cover, it's held on with 3 standard Allen keys. There are reports getting around that these do loosen off, and I have noticed on mine occasionally they did get loose. So what I did was very simple, put some Loctite on them and put them in. Now if you're going to do that, really important to use blue Loctite. Don't use the red stuff, because that's basically going to attach them permanently, and you may want to take those scales off. For example, if you get into salt water and you need to get in and clean behind those handle scales and oil that up. But the blue, whilst you can still take it off, it will stop them loosening up, and that's a very quick and easy mod, and it's certainly better than having to carry an Allen key around if you're out there in the wilderness and tighten your knife up every couple of days. So there it is, Becker BK2 Campanion. Excellent small survival blade, highly recommended, and good luck to you all. Hope you've all enjoyed the review, and take care. Bye for now.